Shout outs to Ellie Scotney, becoming the EBU European champion last night over a very comprehensive win, Mary Romero. That also puts her number 1 in the IBF, so the mandatory challenger to Sugarneek's Shanika Johnson. Personally, I don't particularly like that fight for Ellie just yet. I would prefer to fight someone like Juliana Basuldo next, or even Laura Grazeb, as just another sort of step on the ladder up to those world championships, and then even wait for Sigaline Lafave to come off of injury, or even Yamileth Mercado as champions, and sort of save Mylene Rivas for ultimate unification somewhere down the line. But that's just my opinion. Otherwise, great performance. I'll talk about it more in the breakdown. But yeah, big ups, new EBU champion, well deserved. Oh, and thanks for the tickets. Boy, the crowds that Johnny Fisher can bring to an arena at such an early stage in his career, it's insane. You know what? I can see what the progression for him is going to be. It's going to be a long road to the top if he ever gets there, but it's also going to be a very fun journey. This is definitely not going to be someone that they're looking to rush, especially given the type of clout that he's clearly commanding at the minute. So big up to Fisher. Look, he took care of Muesli a lot quicker than Adelaide did. So yeah, ultimately let's see where he goes next. So I did say on the prediction video that Jordan Gill's got to look out for those punches. Kiko Martinez extremely heavy-handed. I didn't realize he had that much left in the tank. I thought Jordan would be able to keep him on the outside of his jab, sort of keep him on the outside, beat him on the points decision. Ultimately, I was extremely wrong. Watching it over in the arena, there were certain things I saw Jordan Gill doing, which I'm going to speak about on the breakdown. But I just kind of, when I saw those things happening, I knew it wasn't going to end well. Lo and behold, it didn't. Is this his level now? Can he get to world level? I don't know. It's not looking good, but everyone's always got the right to come back, the right to reply. But that Guerfi fight may have taken a lot out of him. This fight is clearly now taken a lot out of him. I don't know where he goes next. But shout out to Kiko Martinez. I know he definitely don't want no Lara fights right now, but he said he wants Lee Wood over Josh Warrington. Hey, sounds like a good one to me. Let's get it going. Katie Taylor does it again. Fairly comfortable victory. I don't think there was much rounds that she didn't totally win. Maybe you could say there was 1 or 2 where, you know, she maybe took her foot off the pedal a bit, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know what the next fight's going to be, but it's going to be interesting. Another mandatory down, still undisputed, and probably still has the most significant claim to being known as the GOAT of boxing right now. I know that Clarissa Shields would dispute that, but I mean, the numbers, the metrics, the significant records, it's going to be a good debate to talk about. But for right now, well done Katie Taylor. Croke Park next, it looks like. Let's get it. You know what, the Golden Boy Promotions card that was on last night was actually kind of fire. And the last 2 fights, Alexis Rocha versus what's his name, Perez Campos, and Joseph Diaz Jr. versus William Zepeda, all action fights. Both of those fights fought pretty much in the pocket for the total duration of each of them. Yeah, if you just want a good night of action with some popcorn, drink, you know, if you want to see the technical aspects, you can look for that. If you just want to see the actual all-out warfare, you can actually find that in both of those fights as well. I would highly recommend watching both of those. Very entertaining, very good night of boxing. I'm happy. Vasily Lomachenko's back. He won a unanimous decision against Jermaine Ortiz. I haven't seen all the scorecards, but I did see the 117, 111 one, which, no, that didn't really make sense to me. It was definitely more of a 115, 113, even 114, 114 type fight to me. Jermaine Ortiz, bigger, stronger, rangier. Like, he pretty much took the whole first half of the fight, very similar to what Teofimo Lopez did. Obviously, I think Lomachenko maybe got 1 or 2 in there, and then Lomachenko swept the back half of the fight just due to obviously engine work rate, and Jermaine Ortiz gassed out a bit. Never been in a 12 rounder before. No, sorry, that was his second 12 rounder. So I think he's still adjusting to that. Tried to start fast. I think he was trying to bank the early rounds and then coast at the end, but they both took a lot of punishment. Lomachenko said he's rusty, he needs a bit more time to prepare. Devin Haney came in and said, look, let's get that fight on next. You guys know my opinion on Haney at 135, but ultimately I give him ultimate respect for still wanting the challenge. We saw him in the ring. He looked probably twice the size of Lomachenko at the time, but you know, he's probably been eating, you know, been enjoying himself a little bit since his fight a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what happens there. I'm gonna leave all predictions until after that fight is signed, but Lomachenko's back, and yeah, it's good for the sport. So let's get him back in the ring quick, and let's get Devin back in the ring quick if he's gonna stay at 135 for this fight, because I don't want it to drag on, please. You know what, I didn't put it on basis picks, but I gotta give up a quick shout out to Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. It was a very competitive and entertaining fight. Anderson Silva probably lost it in the first round by not throwing anything. I guess he was trying to assess what Jake Paul was doing and decide how he was going to counter that moving forward. But I feel if he had done more in the first round, he probably could have won that fight, because up until he actually got dropped in the last round, I would have had it 76-76. It would have been a draw for me, because it would have been 4 rounds apiece, but getting dropped turned that very quick into a 77-74. So yeah, unfortunate for Anderson Silva, but he's a warrior, he's a beast, he's an animal, but he's 47 years old. There's no reason that he should even be competitive at this stage in his life against someone as young and fresh as that. But the experience and the fighting, you know, skills and the natural abilities showed out. So congrats to Jake Paul for the victory. Called out Nate Diaz next, who's supposedly going to be a free agent, I think, within the next 6 months. So that would be interesting. He's still talking Canelo talk, but yeah, when that fight does happen, if that fight does happen, he does get splattered. Capricorn or not, that's not the wise move. But that being said, yeah, overall, very good weekend of boxing. I'm happy enough.